Welcome back, watch fans. We have the losing King Tut, the Rolex Submariner in its natural environment of Miami, of South Beach. And we have, of course, the Versace mansion. Sadly, you cannot see a real close-up because there is a little fair going on, and it's obstructed. The view is obstructed. What a beautiful mansion. They got a little observatory up top, and of course, sadly, this is all the tourists, all the low-life degenerate tourists taking pictures in front of the entrance where Versace was right on those steps. And these low-life degenerates all want to get their picture taken in front of that spot. People of these, but I know that one thing is for sure: Gianni Versace would have approved. He would have approved of the King Tut, the gold and blue. I don't know if he would have approved of my outfit here, my outfit choice. I don't know if you can see this, gentlemen, but yes, he would have approved. Actually, no. I think Johnny would have appreciated that I come in this area properly attired, to pay proper respects. Nice linen shirt, bespoke from Napoli, and of course with the King Tut, 4-ply tropical wool, very comfortable suit. I believe I'm the only person in within the 10 square miles who's actually wearing wearing a suit, jacket and pants that match. I feel like I'm like James Bond that walked. What's that movie from the 70s where he's in Jamaica? He comes off the plane. I think he was wearing like a white linen suit or something. I think it was a three-piece suit. In fact, three-piece suit with a tie. And all the natives are basically running around naked. He gets into the car, and I think it was some sort of chase. The usual Bond adventure. And of course, he was wearing he might have been wearing a Submariner, but not the King Tut, because you know what? Look, James Bond is not an aristocrat. Only the aristocrats wear the King Tut edition. That's right. That is the Rolex Submariner, two-tone with the gold through the dial, the rehaul. Actually, the reason I am wearing a jacket, well, it's actually a little bit. It was a little bit cold this morning, so we had to wear proper attire. And the other reason is, you know what? In this area, I don't know if you want to be wearing anything on your wrist that's a little too flashy. I mean, it is relatively safe, but you know what? You never know. The Leslie Hotel. I remember staying here. One of my first trips to Miami. Unbelievable but true. Gentlemen, one thing I need to warn you about when it comes to buying watches, or actually any type of certain goods, is that sometimes if you really want something, you might get distracted by some flaws, some serious flaws. Okay, what am I talking about? Well, I'll give you an example. I bought recently a Patek Philippe, a Ellipse, on a bracelet, the model I really wanted, and the case condition was flawless. I mean, it was immaculate. Now the pictures, of course, look, these low-life sellers, and by the way, this seller, apparently this is a guy who's got a decent reputation, or he's I think, and very nice guy on the phone or whatever. But the pictures looked so good, and it was described, mint. What does that mean? But anyhow, the case was perfect. The strap, the bracelet, I should say, was cut a little bit, and that wasn't shown in the pictures. Okay. And it was missing the original crown. That's right, did not have the Patek crown. And I didn't see it because I was so distracted by the beauty of the case condition. I mean, it's very rare to come across that type of example, unpolished. Look, these vintage pieces, it's really almost like it's really sui generis. It's one of a kind, okay? It's one of a kind, meaning that, you know, you may not get another example, especially when it comes to some of these rare, you know, pieces that were not mass produced. I mean, not like this piece of shit Submariner. They made millions of these. Well, I shouldn't say. This is the Rehaut with the Rehaut. So they made, I think this is only a couple of years, but overall, the two-tone, the blue dial, the bluesy, aka the King Tut, they made millions. They made millions. So those are not rare. But Patek Philippe, Audemars, in the 60s and 70s, they didn't have high production. So if you see something good, you need to go for it. Anyway, the bottom line is, I was distracted by the beauty of the case, the condition of the case, and I didn't pay attention that the crown was now missing. Now it's going to cost me a couple $100, maybe 500 or 600 bucks. So I really did overpay for this piece. Overall, I probably overpaid by $1,000. I mean, look, it's not tragic. You know, it's a couple of years from now. Look, as Warren Buffett said, you know, quality is remembered long after price is forgotten. You know, a couple of years from now, nobody will remember what you paid for something, and what you will be left with is a piece of quality, right? Look, money is getting cheaper all the time. There's inflation. You know, that breakfast I just had at the News Cafe, that was $35 with the 20% mandatory tip. That's right, they're kind enough to include the 20% tip automatically. And I think when I first came here, it was $15 or maybe $20 all in. Maybe, I don't know, maybe less, but whatever. Bottom line is, money, they're making more of the money every day. Money is plentiful in the world, okay? They're making more of it. But certain one-of-a-kind goods, there's less of it. So bottom line, I was distracted by the case condition, and I didn't pay attention to all the details. And also, look, the seller, I thought was a legitimate guy, okay? I thought he was, you know, had a decent reputation. He's got a big presence on Instagram, etc. But there you go. Now, I'll give you another example, because I'm here going to the Miami Beach Antique Show a couple of years back when, this is actually early in my career in the art business, buying and selling used paintings, and I'm at the Miami Beach Antique Show, and the guy has this incredible painting by an American precisionist artist. What's his name? The name escapes me. But if you know anything about precisionist art, 1930s, it's you know, it almost looks photorealistic. Okay, this was I believe this was a still life, beautiful painting, right? And the price was great. I don't remember, it was 20 or 30 grand. I you know, who know, I don't know, but it wasn't cheap. It wasn't like, you know, but it was somewhere, you know, it was a decent price, and beautiful, incredible painting. Everything was beautiful about it, right? The price, everything was good. And now this was actually one of my first times at the show, and the seller of this incredible painting, you know, he was a little bit of a shifty guy, but you know, listen, everybody in the art business and the watch business, you know, you're dealing with mostly lowlives and degenerates, and you know, goes with the territory. All these guys are basically lowlives and degenerates. I don't care if they're on Bond Street, Madison Avenue, or they're working at a flea market. They're all the same. Watches, cars, art. Anyway, so we come to, and I'm looking at the painting. It looks amazing, right? And here comes the best part. The front, and again, the lighting at the show at the Miami Beach event, it's kind of screwed up. The lighting is really kind of tricky lighting. It's horrible lighting. So sometimes you miss a lot of you can tell the condition of a piece. Now, for precisionist painting, it's got to be the canvas. It's got to be basically, it's got to be immaculate, because, you know, it's supposed to look like glass, basically, right? Like it's painted on glass in immaculate. And anyway, so I always look at the front. I always want to look at the back of the painting, right? The back of the canvas. Maybe there's some labels, maybe there's condition, etc., etc. You learn a lot from looking at the back of a painting, almost as much as you learn from the front. Now the back was covered. It's like a little piece of kind of cardboard type of thing, which a lot of galleries will put that on to protect the piece. And it's covered, and it's kind of screwed in with like a screwdriver type screws, to protect the back of the canvas. Now, this is something that is pretty normal, but I tell the guy, say, listen, can you take off the back? Because before I buy it, I want to check the back. And he's like, well, I can't. But I'm getting all sorts of excuses. Why he can't remove the back. But I figure, look. Oh, there we go. There is the Anthony Farrer Lamborghini rental. Those perfect colors. We got the orange and the lime green. That is what we need, my friends. Orange and green Lambos. So anyway, the guy doesn't want to take off the back, and I'm kind of luck, And he's, I was relatively new in the business. Meaning I hadn't at that time, I hadn't been screwed over. Until you get it in the ass a couple times, you don't know what to look for. So I said, okay, the guy, I thought it was okay, half legit, whatever. The front of the painting looked okay. In the light, I should say. Okay, I give him a check. I take it back to my hotel room. I drive back. I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. And now I go back to my hotel room, and I put it against lean it against the wall, and shit, I noticed there's a patch. Basically, the painting was repaired. You could see a giant patch. It might have been 4 inches by, I don't know, I would say at least 6 inches long by 3 inches wide vertically. Something happened to it. I don't know if it was punctured. Something happened. But basically, now, and I could see that with my naked eye, without any UV, no black light, nothing. How come I couldn't see it inside the convention center? Well, because I was blinded. I was blinded to something that I thought was really amazing, that I really wanted. The price was right. Everything was right? That's how you get conned. It's kind of like the old shell game or the 3-card Monte. And it's unbelievable. This thing was I mean, I could clearly see inside of a dark hotel room, and I couldn't see it in the light of the convention center. Why? Because I was blinded. I was blinded to, it's the greed. It's the greed. I think the greed also has a lot to do with it. You're greedy. You want to make a deal. You want to get a deal. You want to get a steal, and we're all guilty of that, I think, So anyway, I took it back to the guy. He denied. Oh no, it's everything is. Yeah, these con artists are unbelievable, shameless, unbelievable. These guys are absolutely shameless, and he denied that anything was wrong with it. Yeah, I said, look, son, here, just give me my check back. You take your painting back. And anyway, it was I think he understood that it was in his best interest just to, I mean, this guy had enough issues. Actually, I found out later he had some serious issues. I don't know if the FBI was after him, but so it kind of sounds like the watch business, right? Yeah, he had some issues. Anyway, he gave me back the money. I gave him back the painting. It was all good. Now, fast forward. I told you the Patek story. Now, I'm at the show the other day, the Miami Beach Antique Show, and I see this beautiful two-tone. I love the two-tone. Audemars Piguet dual time. Here we go. More Anthony Farrer rental cars. I see this dual time. and it's wrapped in plastic. You know, that shrink wrap that they put on to protect the watch, supposedly. I tell the guy, hey, can you take off the plastic? He goes, no, it's retail ready. No, I don't want to take it off. It might get scratched. Yeah, I mean, it's going to get... I mean, where is the watch going? It's going to be on a tray. Cushioned tray. And he's like, no, I can't take it off, blah, blah, blah. So I'm a little bit suspicious. But of course, you know, I remember seeing this watch on Chrono 24, and the dial had damage. That's right. If you go on Chrono 24, you look for the Audemars Piguet dual time in a two-tone. There's one with kind of like a grayish brown dial, and you're going to see the sub-dials have some damage, the flaking or something. You know, there's oxidation. They're screwed up. So I remember seeing that, and I thought, well, there's not that many of this watch in the market. Is this the same? So I realized, you know what? That's got to be. It's got to be the same one. And that's how we do it. Sure enough. Now I made a video of it, where I took a picture of it, and now with the naked eye, for some reason, again, the lighting at this convention center is so bad. I don't know if they do it on purpose, or it's what do you call it, or it's the way it is, but the lighting is so bad, you really can't tell what's going on. So with my naked eye, I couldn't see anything. I was lucky enough that I remember from Chrono that, okay, this is probably the same watch. And this guy basically wouldn't take off the plastic. The price was a great price. Now I'm not sure if there's anything else wrong with it, but the other thing was, there was another piece. Actually, if you see the video I made of the other Royal Oak, the stainless, it's got kind of like a bluish dial, which I've never seen before, like a light blue. And that one seemed to me that the case was kind of badly polished. The brushing kind of looked very aggressive, like an aggressive brushing. Of course, I passed on the watch because, you know what, it's come on, it's too much. Guy wouldn't take off the plastic. He wants to sell it as is. Of course I want to sell it as is, because the piece is, it's damaged. It's kind of like that painting I bought where the guy wouldn't take off the back of, the back of the frame. You see the naked canvas, he wouldn't take it off. Just like, which is not a big deal, right? It takes a few minutes, unscrew the screws, and there you see it. Unless, again, so gentlemen, what is the takeaway? The takeaway, my friends, is think twice, okay? Be very suspicious. Anything that's amazing. It's sort of like, you see a girl who's like incredibly beautiful, or you think she's super hot. That you get distracted by the flaws, right? The flaws you don't notice, the personality flaws or whatever. There's a lot of flaws. Even look-wise, there might be flaws, which you may not notice. You might be wearing great makeup and it's dark at night. Women are masters at this. A little makeup can turn a 5 into an 8. Unbelievable but true. No, I'm telling you from experience. A little makeup can turn a 5 into an 8, maybe even a 9. If you know what you're doing. So you need to be careful, my friends, when you're buying used goods on the internet, at these shows or wherever. You can't trust these guys, okay? None of them. I mean, like, I don't know how nice they are, on YouTube videos, how, charming or whatever, how sweet, innocent. Listen, they're all out to make a buck. They want to sell the goods. They don't really care what they're selling. They're here to do volume, okay? They're here to do volume. Some of these guys are selling hundreds of watches a month. I think they care if they sell you a shitter. There's a couple of other things. I was looking at the show, a couple of other watches that were clearly damaged. There were some issues. I mean, I saw one Patek, actually the model I wanted, an ellipse type, and it was missing a buckle. And the guy's like, I say, hey, and it's kind of on a shitty replacement strap at garbage, which makes me think about what's wrong with the condition of the watch, right? When you see the outside is, you know, if the car is dirty, it's got a couple dents, you know, it makes you concerned about the condition of the interior. And this thing came without a buckle, so I'm like, hey man, what's going on with the buckle? So, but the price, the guy, I was like, he wanted $6,000 for this watch. I mean, that's like a retail price. That's like with original buckle. Now these buckles, just so you know, Patek buckles, Royal Liechtenstein sculpture, really nice. I'm very bullish on a Royal Liechtenstein. Anyway, very clean, modern look. So, just so you know, gentlemen, a Patek Ellipse buckle is at least $600. It's about maybe $700. The prices of the Ellipse buckles are crazy. Any Patek parts are expensive. It's hard to get also. You gotta wait months to get it. So that piece, I'm shocked that this lowlife scumbag was trying to get $6,000 for this. And another piece for a different guy, you know, it was like a 60s watch. It had like a dent in the case. Actually, a couple of his pieces had like funky condition issues. And whenever I mentioned it to him, hey, he was like, oh yeah. Basically, he would just. It's almost like you ever deal with realtors? You know, you go to a house and you see something that's like, oh shit, there's like a giant hole in the wall and the toilet is mounted on the ceiling instead of the floor. And they say, oh yeah, look at the puppy in the window. You know, they try to distract you. They basically ignore the objection. You know, it's like those low-life salesmen. If you say something, they will basically ignore the objection, or they just kind of, you know, try to distract you to something else. That's what this guy is doing. This is endemic to the watch space. It's like used car dealers. Okay, guys, used watch dealers are basically used car dealers. All of them are used car dealers, okay? Just so you know. Okay, they're all trying to sodomize you anally, okay? So, when you are aware of that, you can protect yourself appropriately. Okay, that is enough. I'm going to the show. I will see you in the next video. Make sure you click the like and subscribe button.